Hi, you guys. For those of you who are new and those who are returning, hi, my name is Brother Roy, aka okaasanstarot, and I am going to be showing you all my process for my new and full moon rituals. And so we have a new moon in the sign of Leo. For me, Cancer rising is happening in my second house, and today I'm going to show you the basic process of how to do your own candle magic. So in this ritual, of course, I have my petition, which I have here, and I am not done with it, but when I am done, I place this petition underneath the candle magic, and I use herbs, my own anointing oils, and psalms, and a couple of things in my rituals to do chakra healing. For this healing, I am going to be focusing on the sacral chakra, since the new moon is in the sign of Leo, and Leo energy is all about our sacral chakra, a healthy sense of pride and ego. For me specifically, this new moon is going to be focusing on the self-worth, my personal finances, and keeping those things in order. So I have everything that I use for my candle magic rituals, and you can use these things. Find them at your local metaphysical shop. If you are local in North Carolina, of course, Eclectic by Nature in Greensboro, and Dancing Room Books and Gifts in Raleigh. Or you can find Sage and Smudge in Zebulon, North Carolina, where I currently am. So, of course, we're focusing on the sacral chakra, which is represented by the color orange. So I've got my orange candle. I like to use 4-inch candles for my rituals. If I'm going to do something for a longer period of time, of course, the 7-day candles in the glass case, which I have sitting on my altar. Something to inscribe your candle. Whatever it is that you use to do your candle magic, only use it for that. So I have this device right here that I use to inscribe my candle. I've got my sage, my Palo Santo, and my charcoal that I use to burn my frankincense and myrrh, and my red sandalwood. I've got my salt, my Van oil that I made myself. This is actually almost a year old and almost out. My herbs that I'm going to use, and I'm using today 3 herbs. When you do your candle magic, it is best to use your herbs, if you choose to use them, in 3s, but no more than 13. I'm using orange peel, yarrow flower, and comfrey leaf. These are all great herbs to use for sacral chakra. Comfrey is an herb of safety, security. Yarrow is for bravery, courage, and orange peel is for divination, and orange for the sacral chakra. So we start off with the petition, which I am not done with, but I will normally fold this 3 times towards me, 1, 2, 3, and then place it underneath my charger. You'll take your charger, anything that is fire safe will work. And what you're going to do for your candle magic is you're going to inscribe your name, your birthday, or whatever message it is that you're petitioning. And so for this petition, it's focusing on sacral chakra healing. So if you've got a glass encased candle, you would just take a permanent marker and write these things on the side of the glass. If you don't have room to write your entire petition, if you choose to do your own petition, petitions can be done on any paper. Parchment paper, if you read the books, is what is recommended, but it can be done on any paper with any ink. Dragon blood ink is what's normally recommended, but if you choose not to do a petition, you can do it with the candle. If you don't have enough room, that's fine also. All right. So what I did was I took a condensed version of the prayer and petition that's in the circle of my petition, and it says that sacral chakra healing, courage, strength, and confidence to face our fears. So once you have your candle inscribed, you will take your oil and anoint the candle. I like to do it in the direction of whatever it is I'm receiving. So these are healing petitions, and we're asking to receive healing, to receive confidence, courage, and strength. So I'm going to put the oil down the candle to bring the energy inward. Everybody has their own method. I do this method because this is what works for me. So find out what works for you based on the results from your own candle magic. And so this is my Van oil again that I made myself last October. I've gone ahead and anointed my candle, and we will take it and light the bottom so they can stick on the charger. Some people will use candle holders. It is completely up to you. I read the wax, and for that reason, I don't like to use holders. I also don't like to put herbs on my candle because it interferes with my wax reading. I also read the flame and the smoke. If you are using a glass encased candle, you would be reading the soot that's on the candle. If your candle has a lot of soot, it is a sign that your work may need to be repeated or there's some opposition. If there's a lot of wax and you're using a freestanding candle of any length, it is a sign that you may need to repeat this work. So after I have it placed here on the charger, I'm just going to take my herbs and I'm going to put it in a clockwise motion so that the energy can come to me. If I was doing a reversal or I'm crossing, I would lay them in the counterclockwise to reverse the energy. But we want this to come towards us. So normally what I would do is put this inside of my pestle and mortar, but we don't have time for that. If you do not have a pestle and mortar, that's fine. If you do not have these specific herbs, if you want to do a sacral chakra healing, that's fine also. Some common herbs that you can use in the house to do any type of healing work would be rosemary, basil, and an anise is a very good herb to use. So that was my orange peel. And I want to take my yarrow. Orange peel is good for divination, courage. Yarrow is also good for courage and strength. And again, I'm doing this in a clockwise motion. The circle around my candle. And then my third herb is the comfrey leaf. And again, if you choose to use herbs, which is not required, but I use them because it increases and amplifies the energy. If you choose to do it, use it in 3s, but no more than 13. And for my new and full moon rituals, I always use bare minimum of 3. So once my herbs are laid, I'm going to seal the work with my salt in the same motion. All right. So my candle is inscribed. It has been anointed by my own homemade Van oil. I used my 3 herbs in a clockwise motion and sealed it in the same motion with regular plain table salt. And now it is time to be placed on the altar. So for my rituals, what I do is I would light my charcoal let it burn until it turned ashy gray. Put on my incense. I've got my red sandalwood, which I will use, my gum Arabic, which I will use, my myrrh, and frankincense also that I would use. And just to cleanse the air, cleanse the space. And also I use my sage when I do crossings and hexings, and I use Palo Santo when I'm trying to bring inward. If I'm doing like a healing, I'm trying to encourage the energy to come inward. So I would light these things to get the energy cleared. Of course, on my altar and on your altar, when you do your own candle magic, you will need a glass of water. Place it on the left-hand side of your altar to receive, as left hand is receiving. You will place your candle or your glass encased candle on your altar with your incense, and you say your prayer, and you light your white candle first, and then you light your preceding color candle. So again, the new moon is happening in the sign of Leo. If you are Leo rising, it's happening in your first house. In the first house, you'll be focusing on your personal goals, self-preservation, and a healthy ego. So set your intentions around those things over the next 6 months. If you are Cancer rising, like me, it's happening in our second house. We'll be focusing on self-sufficiency, our values, and our finances. If you are Gemini rising, it's happening in your third house. In your third house, you'll be focusing on your mental perceptions, communication, and planning. You could also be doing some healing work with your siblings in the next 6 months. If you are Taurus rising, it's happening in your fourth house, the new moon in Leo. In the fourth house, you're focusing on home improvement, family, and security. If you are Aries rising, the new moon in Leo is happening in your fifth house. Your fifth house is going to have you focusing on self-expression, freedom, your talents, dating, and entertainment. If you are Pisces rising, this is happening in your sixth house. The sixth house is focusing on health, a healthy lifestyle, getting a better routine, more sleep, your daily duties and obligations, and selfless service, helping the community without expecting anything in return. If you are Aquarius rising, the new moon in Leo is happening in your seventh house. So this is focusing on your interpersonal relationships, friendships, life partnerships, and marriages if you're in a romantic relationship. If you are Capricorn rising, the new moon is happening in your eighth house. Eighth house is a Scorpio house that is focusing on occult practices and divinations, mutual resources, and your debts. So if you are Sagittarius rising, the new moon in Leo is happening in your ninth house. The ninth house is focusing on spirituality. You may be looking for a guru or a mentor in the next 6 months to help you with your spiritual journey. You could also be thinking about long distance travels or long distance goals as well with the ninth house energy. If you are Scorpio rising, the new moon in Leo is happening in your 10th house. The 10th house is going to have you focusing on your career, how you can work on your skills and your talents, your professional development so that you can progress when you're in your workplace. You will also be focusing on working with people in authority, getting their help, networking, and with your public relations and social status. If you are Libra rising, the new moon in Leo is happening in your 11th house. So the 11th house for Libra rising has you focusing on networking, building your circle, your friends, clearing your friends, making new friends with this new moon energy, collective issues, so social injustices. Maybe there's something you're passionate about in the community that you may fight for, volunteer for, do a donation drive, things like that. And again, friendships. It's Aquarian energy in the 11th house. You'll be focusing on bringing in new energy that's unconventional to you. And if you finally are Virgo rising, the new moon in Leo is happening in your 12th house. So you're focusing on, in the next 6 months with this energy, intentions around shadow work, focusing on your weaknesses, your flaws, the trauma that has been unhealed, your past life trauma, past life karma and relationships, as well as the lessons that can be learned from that karma and your mental health. So again, this is my video for basic candle magic, but I am going to be doing this ritual, completing it at the peak of the new moon in the sign of Leo. Please do continue to follow me on YouTube, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Stay tuned for more videos about conjuring, hoodoo, candle magic, root work, and don't forget to follow me for my Thursday free readings, WWYO Words with your Okaasan sign at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time weekly. Thank you guys so much. Wish you all many blessings of love and light, and happy candle magic.